Everybody loves dads, stories, and the Marine Corps. What could be better than Marine Corps dads who tell stories? Here's another story with veteran storyteller John Sugar Jr., a Marine Corps dad.
Tonight, we're going to tell the story of the vacuum cleaner that liked to eat toes. Once upon a time, there were 3 little girls who lived in a house together. And the 3 little girls loved each other, and they loved their mommy, and they loved their daddy, and they had a wonderful life together, but in the same house, there was a vacuum cleaner that wanted to eat their toes. And every time the vacuum cleaner would turn on, the little girls would scream, "Ah!" And they would run, and they would yump into their beds or onto the couches to get away from the vacuum cleaner that wanted to eat their toes. And they would pull their toes under their dresses so that the toes would not be eaten. And the vacuum cleaner would say, because it wanted to eat their toes. Well, one day, one of the little girls wasn't fast enough, and the vacuum cleaner ran over her toes. And the vacuum cleaner said, and the little girl said, "Ah!" Just like that. "Ah!" Because she could feel her toes being sucked by the vacuum cleaner. And she was like, "No! No! Save me! Ah!" And her other 2 little girls ran up beside her, and they were so brave because they grabbed their little sister by the arms, and they said, "No!" And they pulled, and they pulled, and the vacuum cleaner said, and the little girl said, "Ah!" And the little girl who was being sucked said, "Ah!" And they grabbed her, and they pulled, and they pulled, and they pulled, and they pulled, and her toes came out of the vacuum cleaner. And the vacuum cleaner said, and so the little girls huddled on the couch, and they looked at her toes. And her toes were longer.
What?
The vacuum cleaner had sucked her toes and made them longer. And so that little girl, in order to get into all of her shoes after that, had to fold her toes up and put them in the shoe. Just into the shoe every time. And so the little girls learned not to let the vacuum cleaner eat their toes.
Hey, Daddy.
The end.
Daddy, another story.
That was another story with John Sugar Jr., a Marine Corps dad. Check the show notes for links to his Patreon and website at creativegrumbles.com.